Welcome back. We're talking about sex with Psycho Mike Catherwood. He is my co-host on Loveline, and you may know him from Dancing with the Stars. And we always hear about couples where a guy watches porn and his female partner is unhappy, they're upset about it. Well, joining me now are Bill and Antonio. They are husband and wife, and guess what? They are both into porn and want to know if the porn is somehow going to damage their relationship. Also, Dr. Ava Cadell, founder of the Loveology University, is here. All right, now, your guys' question is porn ultimately going to be harmful to the relationship? Is that right?
Well, I'd like to get your opinion, what you think.
Okay. Mike, we'll start with you.
I think that a couple watching porn is certainly a lot healthier than, say, how I watch porn.
With your dogs?
Exactly. And I love pornography, and I tend to watch it every day. But I always end up feeling a bit shameful, and I do think that it can distort certainly my view of what healthy sexuality is.
Well, that would be my concern, Dr. Cadell, that particularly women are portrayed in ways that are unrealistic. And it might create expectations or demands from partners to do things that may not be happy.
Well, that's possible, but let me go to Mike, because masturbation is good for your health, Mike, so don't feel guilty watching porn every day.
Not as frequently as he does it and the way he does it. That's what we're talking about.
I'm concerned I might actually dry up. And
I'm concerned he might turn inside out.
Anyway, but getting back to this couple, there are so many female-friendly porn movies out there that are produced by women.
Yes, we have those.
A lot of people don't know that.
Right, and we've actually had some of those producers. And what do you think is different about the female porn? The porn's for female.
Just all women. I like all of it, so.
Well, the stuff that is produced for women has a distinct
I think that's
nature.
Great, yeah.
Do you understand what that difference would be? What do you think it might be?
The difference from female to male producing? I think it's great that women do it because they're portraying the women that are not going to be so degrading. I'm hoping that's the one thing, but
that is for sure the case.
That's one thing, and a lot of them have natural breasts because women want to see natural-looking women.
Well, what the women that create these stories have told me when they've been on Loveline and been on this show is that men basically just want to see people having sex. That's what the produce for men is for.
I'm the same way too.
And I understand that. Oh. And women generally want to understand why these people like each other so much that they want to have sex. So there needs to be some story involved. And certainly the functional MRI scans and the biology of the brain bears this out. That for women to have drive, there needs to be sort of this intimate conversation going on.
And I think the problem is right there. The fact that men are so visually stimulated. A guy like myself who does tend to watch a lot of pornography may even subconsciously try to take things that he sees day in and day out in these movies and apply them to the bedroom. And that's probably not a healthy thing to do because even the actors and the producers of adult films know that this is not reality. It's kind of this aggrandized view of what sexuality should be. And it'd be like a boxer trying to learn how to fight by watching Rocky. Because that's not a real depiction of a fight. It's something that you do that looks visually stimulating. And I'm concerned, certainly speaking for myself, that other guys do what I do and then maybe want to use what they see and what they worship on in porn movies in the bedroom.
The intention is very important, but it is a great way to share your fantasies together. You know, it's a great way to find out if your partner would have a threesome, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys experience it?
Well, I like watching porn because the woman is not there, so I get to visualize and watch it. Because then I won't be so jealous. So
you do get jealous when you watch it?
No, I don't. I'm saying if I had a woman, if I had someone there in the bedroom with us, then yes, I would be jealous.
I see.
But now I like watching it, so then that's a turn on.
It's a visual tool. It helps us.
It helps you. And do you ever have any misgivings about it? Does it feel like it has a negative effect on you?
No, not at all.
Well, you know, it's interesting. So in a couple, Ava, Dr. Cadell, from your standpoint, it's something that enhances, can be used playfully, whatnot. Mike and I talk to young people every night on the radio, and we get concerned that particularly young males, and I think is what Mike was talking about, get an unrealistic expectation about women, what women are and what they're going to want, and they start demanding stuff. We hear this all the time, Mike. Back me up on this.
Yeah, it's true. And I think it's because they see these things, played out on the screen. And, for instance, how many calls do we take a night, Dr. Drew, of guys who are concerned because they can only last 10 minutes?
Right.
And you say, well, geez, that's probably okay as long as, that's a consistent effort.
And your partner's happy and everything's good, yeah.
And they're just so accustomed to seeing these champions of sex in the porn films.
Well, trying to duplicate some of this stuff on TV would be impossible.
Right. Yeah, but young people don't really know that, and they believe me. We hear about this all the time. Both female and the female partners are often absorbing this and think they're supposed to live up to that. They feel flawed because either A, they don't want to do these things that are hurt or unpleasant, or they're not living up to some standard on a pornography.
Right, and that's why we have to educate them, and that's so great that you do this. Because there are unrealistic expectations. I mean, guys are so obsessed with the size of their penis because they watch porn movies. And women have body image issues because they see these gorgeous, glamorous women. But there are good educational and therapeutic values to porn. And in fact, porn has even been used in clinical studies to help women who suffer from anorgasmia. They can't have an orgasm. And they found that when women watch porn, within 30 seconds, they have some arousal.
Mike, take note.
Yeah.
30 seconds, Mike. Men get arousal in 1 second.
I'm going to turn the house into like a sports bar with just flat screens everywhere showing porn.
30 seconds, switch the channel.
So I just want to say, look, there's bad movies, there's bad video games, there's bad porn. But there's great porn, too.
Do you routinely recommend it for people that are having difficulties?
I do. I recommend porn. I recommend sex education videos. In fact, I'm now doing my own series of sex education videos because nobody teaches you how to be more playful, how to be more creative in the bedroom. And a couple who play together stay together. I
think there's a clear-cut divide, though, between a handbook-type manual movie that you're making and a pornography film. I think, again, the big problem is that men base their sexual pleasure so much on what they see. Even when they're actively having sex, guys have their favorite position just because they like the way it looks. So for some men, there's going to be that problem where they take what they see in a pornographic film and try to apply it into their own life.
Right.
Whereas, you know, the movies you're talking about are really enhancements of the sexual activity themselves.
So they need to expand their horizon. They need to get some porn by Candida Royale, by Veronica Hart, by Nika Noel. These are female-friendly porn movies with storylines.
Storylines?
Storylines!
I don't like the storylines, but
Wait
we
a
do
second.
see, the other thing I like watching porn is like, oh, I like that position. Let's try that new position or something.
Right, and you're cool with this too.
Yes.
You're fine with
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Right. But and there is another side to this too that I always see, which is that porn addiction does develop, and it's actually considered one of the most rapidly increasing diagnostic categories in the country by people that work with sex addiction. And for those that have sex addiction and porn addiction particularly, the internet and the computer that sits on their desk is a crack pipe. And so people have to be aware if Mike's just on the edge, he's okay. I haven't actually formally diagnosed him yet. You're
In
all right.
actuality, the one thing I do concern myself with is, will I start to develop a liking for masturbation over actual sex at some point? I mean,
Right.
when it gets to when it becomes so convenient.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
for
bordering
sure.
on that edge, as Dr. Hughes
Addiction is
said.
definitely a problem. And when couples come to see me in crisis, you know, I don't recommend porn for every couple.
Right, I
I mean,
understand.
we talk about their boundaries and their deal breakers.
Yeah.
And if they're both okay with it, we negotiate what kind of porn, how often they watch it, and so forth.
And again, we want to point out that these films exploit people, hurt people, and you know I worry about that too. And our kids, stuff rains down on our kids all the time. It has a double edge. I'm glad it works for you guys. I don't see where it's any going to destroy a relationship, particularly when you're both on the same page with it. I worry about Mike's habit a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, you have to find a girlfriend who likes porn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You,
Okay.
yeah.
I have to find a girlfriend, period. I would say.
Pick up the phone, contact me at cnn.com/Dr. Drew. Psycho Mike and I will be back after this answering your question. I guess somebody wants to know about recreational sex, whether that's good or bad, right or wrong. We're going to talk about that and more next.